Have you noticed how, as the years pass, your body starts sending signals you can't ignore anymore? Maybe you've started waking up tired, even after a full night's sleep. Maybe your energy fades right after lunch, and no matter what you eat or how much you rest, your drive just isn't the same. But the most painful sign of all is the one that happens in silence, behind closed doors, when your body refuses to respond the way it used to. Have you ever felt that sinking moment when desire is still there but nothing happens? That moment of frustration when you try to laugh it off, but deep down, it hurts your confidence, your pride, even your relationship? It's easy to blame age, stress, or bad luck. But what if the real reason has been hidden all along? Something ancient, powerful, and completely forgotten in modern life. What if there was one simple thing, something natural, something you could chew, that could restart your body's inner fire in less than a minute? Before we go deeper, take a second and tell me in the comments, what city are you watching from? I love knowing how far this message reaches because no matter where you are, this truth concerns every man over 60 who still wants to feel strong, capable, and alive. Now let's be honest, bedroom performance isn't just about sex. It's about identity. For decades, you worked hard, took care of your family, built your life, but now your own body feels like it's betraying you. It's not just about physical failure, it's about how that failure makes you feel. When things don't work the way they should, doubts creep in. You start avoiding intimacy because you're afraid of disappointment. You start pretending you're not in the mood when deep down you just don't trust your body anymore. But what if the problem isn't your age? What if the issue comes from a silent process happening inside you every single day, draining your vitality without you realizing it? For years, men have been told that erectile troubles after 60 are inevitable. They're not. The real reason lies deeper than just testosterone or blood pressure. Modern science has revealed that the true cause of this silent decline is linked to something you'd never suspect: a tiny, constant inflammation inside your blood vessels that blocks the flow of life itself. Imagine your veins and arteries as flexible tubes meant to deliver oxygen and nutrients. Over time, tiny molecules from processed foods, stress hormones, and even common medications start irritating the walls of those vessels. The body reacts with inflammation, thickening the walls, making them stiffer and silently narrowing the passage. The result? Less blood where you need it most, slower recovery, and a fading of that youthful drive that once felt unstoppable. But here's where things get interesting. Long before pills and chemical solutions existed, ancient cultures already understood how to fight this problem naturally. They knew that certain roots, when chewed fresh, could instantly improve blood flow and awaken the body's dormant energy. These weren't drugs or stimulants. They were nature's own tools for survival and reproduction. One particular root, used by warriors and wise men for centuries, could trigger a reaction so fast it shocked even modern researchers when they finally rediscovered it. This root doesn't just boost circulation, it restores the balance between mind and body that time tends to destroy. Yet, almost no one in the West talks about it. Why? Because you can't patent a plant that grows wild in the soil. You can't sell it for hundreds of dollars a dose. So instead, the world was taught to rely on temporary fixes, little blue pills that may help for a moment, but do nothing to heal the body from the inside. And every man who depends on them ends up in the same cycle of frustration, a spark that fades, a heart that races, and a growing fear that one day the pills will stop working. But imagine if instead of forcing your body, you could simply wake it up again, naturally, in less than a minute. That's what this ancient root does. To understand how, we first need to talk about what really happens inside the body as it ages. It's not just about hormones, it's about energy production at the cellular level. Every cell in your body relies on something called nitric oxide, a natural molecule that relaxes your blood vessels, allowing blood to flow freely. When you were younger, your body made plenty of it. That's why you felt powerful, clear-minded, and ready for anything. But after 40, your nitric oxide levels start dropping fast. By 60, they can fall to less than half of what they once were. That's when trouble begins. Without nitric oxide, your arteries lose flexibility, your blood pressure rises, and your body's on switch for arousal simply stops working. You can want it all you want, but the signal doesn't reach where it should. Now, here's where the ancient root comes in. In remote parts of Asia, Healers noticed that men who regularly chewed this root, even in their 70s and 80s, still had remarkable stamina and vitality. They didn't call it nitric oxide, but they knew something powerful was happening. Modern studies later found that compounds inside this root actually trigger your body to release more nitric oxide instantly, sometimes within seconds. That's why the effect is so fast. It's not magic, it's biology. You chew it, your body reacts, your blood vessels expand, and suddenly, circulation returns to areas that had been neglected for years. But there's more. This same root also contains rare antioxidants that calm inflammation and protect your blood vessel walls from further damage. So it doesn't just fix the symptom, it addresses the real cause of decline. Think about it. One small piece of nature doing what expensive treatments fail to do, restoring your own body's natural ability to function. And here's the part that shocks most men when they learn about it. The improvement isn't limited to the bedroom. Once your blood flow improves, everything else changes. Your brain gets more oxygen, your energy levels rise, your heart feels lighter, and even your sleep becomes deeper. That's why, in ancient cultures, this root wasn't used for pleasure. It was used for survival, for strength, for clarity. Still, most men don't know this. They think they've tried everything: vitamins, diets, exercises, and nothing works. But the problem isn't their effort. It's that they're fighting the wrong enemy. They're focusing on testosterone, when the real key lies in circulation and inflammation. Imagine your body as an old garden hose left out in the sun. The rubber gets dry, cracks, and no matter how much pressure you apply, the water barely flows. You don't fix it by turning up the pressure, you fix it by restoring the flexibility of the hose itself. That's what this root does. It brings back the flexibility and smooth flow that time and toxins have taken away. Now, before revealing the name of this ancient root, it's important to understand how the modern lifestyle makes this condition worse every single day. Most men unknowingly consume foods that block nitric oxide production, things like processed meats, excessive salt, sugary snacks, and alcohol. These foods send your arteries into a state of chaos, lowering your nitric oxide and raising inflammation. Meanwhile, chronic stress pumps cortisol into your bloodstream, tightening your vessels even more. It's a vicious cycle. Stress leads to poor circulation, which leads to poor performance, which leads to more stress. Breaking this cycle is the key to restoring vitality, and that's exactly what this root was meant to do. Every man who feels his energy fading should know this truth. Your body isn't broken, it's just waiting for the right signal. And once that signal is activated, the results can be astonishing. Imagine chewing something natural and feeling your body respond almost instantly. Imagine not depending on pills, not fearing side effects, not worrying whether you'll be ready when the moment comes. Just confidence, like the old days. But before that happens, there's one more layer to uncover: the hidden connection between your gut and your performance. Few people realize that the bacteria living in your intestines control more than digestion. They influence how your blood vessels react. When your gut is full of harmful bacteria from processed food, your nitric oxide system weakens. But when you feed it right, or with the right natural ingredients, it thrives. This is another reason the ancient root works so well. It feeds the good bacteria that help your body produce nitric oxide naturally. It's a complete system of restoration, not a quick fix. And while modern society mocks natural solutions as old-fashioned, the irony is that the wisdom of the past often holds the very answer science is rediscovering today. In studies on aging men, researchers found that those who consumed natural sources of nitric oxide boosters, like beets, ginseng, and this ancient root, had dramatically better circulation and stronger performance without medication. Their arteries stayed open, their blood pressure stayed healthy, and their energy returned. The key wasn't in taking something artificial, it was in giving the body what it had lost with time. So why hasn't everyone heard of this? Because modern life runs on convenience, not prevention. We're told to fix problems when they appear, instead of maintaining the systems that keep us strong. But that's changing. More and more experts are now recognizing that what we call age-related decline is actually preventable and even reversible when you restore circulation and nitric oxide levels naturally. And that's where the final piece of this story begins, the story of a forgotten root that has already helped countless men regain the confidence they thought was gone forever. It's time to reveal how it works, how to use it safely, and how this single habit can transform not just your performance, but your entire sense of vitality. Because when your circulation flows freely, life itself feels new again. Now that the curtain has been lifted and you understand that the real enemy of male vitality isn't age itself, but the slow decay of circulation and nitric oxide loss, it's time to uncover how this ancient root quietly repairs what time and lifestyle have damaged. The story of this root begins thousands of years ago in the highlands of Asia, where farmers and warriors lived under extreme conditions of cold, wind, and exhaustion. They depended on their bodies every single day for survival, and their stamina, fertility, and mental clarity meant the difference between life and death. Local healers noticed that those who chewed a certain earthy, slightly bitter root had energy that seemed unending. Even after long hours of labor or harsh winters, they could work, fight, and still return home with a strength that amazed everyone. For centuries, this secret stayed hidden in the mountains until modern researchers rediscovered it while studying natural ways to improve blood flow in older adults. The root they found is known as Panax ginseng, often called the root of life. The name comes from Greek and Chinese origins meaning all healing, and that's not an exaggeration. But before jumping to the final revelation of how to use it to bring back vitality in less than a minute, it's important to understand why it works so differently from anything else. Ginseng doesn't act like a stimulant. It doesn't force your body into short bursts of energy like caffeine or medication. Instead, it communicates with your body's own natural chemistry. Inside the root are compounds called ginsenosides, which act as adaptogens, natural molecules that teach your body how to balance itself again. When you chew fresh or concentrated ginseng, these compounds reach your bloodstream and immediately signal your blood vessels to relax and open up, while also improving your cells' sensitivity to nitric oxide. In other words, it tells your arteries, wake up, loosen up, flow again. But the most remarkable thing about ginseng isn't just what it does to your blood flow. It also helps repair the invisible connection between the brain and the body. Many men over 60 think their struggles are purely physical, but in truth, performance depends as much on the brain as on the body. Stress, worry, and repeated disappointment create a mental loop that suppresses the signals of arousal. Ginseng helps calm the nervous system while increasing alertness and focus, creating a sense of relaxed confidence that allows the natural process to happen again without fear. That's why in traditional medicine it was given to soldiers before battle, not only to strengthen the body but to sharpen the mind. You may be wondering why, if it's so effective, more people don't already use it. The answer lies in how modern supplements have distorted nature's design. Most ginseng capsules on store shelves are made from old, low-quality roots that have lost their potency or have been mixed with fillers that do nothing for your body. The real power of ginseng comes from its fresh, concentrated root, chewed directly or steeped in warm water. That's how the ancient cultures used it. When you chew it, your saliva begins breaking down the natural oils and saponins, sending them straight into your bloodstream. Within seconds, your circulation starts improving, your heartbeat steadies, and your body begins responding in ways you might not have felt in years. Still, it's not just about chewing a piece of ginseng and expecting miracles. Your body must be prepared to receive it. Think of it like unlocking a door. Ginseng is the key, but if the lock is rusted, it won't turn smoothly. That's why one of the most overlooked steps is detoxifying the system. Most men carry decades of built-up waste inside their bloodstream: cholesterol deposits, toxins from processed food, chemical residues from medicine. All of this clogs your arteries and weakens your response. The first step, before you even chew the root, is hydration and fiber. Drinking clean water and eating simple foods like leafy greens, oats, and citrus fruits helps clear your arteries and make the effects of ginseng faster and stronger. Once the body is cleansed, ginseng works almost instantly. The transformation many men report after consistent use is profound. Within days, they feel a renewed sense of drive, sharper focus, and deeper sleep. After a few weeks, stamina increases, digestion improves, and that heavy fatigue that used to linger starts to vanish. And yes, in the most intimate moments, performance returns naturally. It's not a jolt of artificial energy. It's your body remembering what it's supposed to do. That's why, in scientific studies, men who took pure ginseng extract reported not only better erections, but improved overall satisfaction, reduced stress, and greater vitality throughout the day. The effect is systemic. because what happens in one part of your body affects every other part. When blood flows freely, life flows freely. But there's another layer that makes this root even more remarkable. Ginseng has a unique effect on your adrenal glands, the small organs on top of your kidneys that control your stress hormones. As we age, these glands become overworked, releasing too much cortisol, which not only raises blood pressure, but also blocks the production of sex hormones. Ginseng acts like a reset button. It tells your adrenals to calm down, reducing cortisol and restoring balance. This is why people who use it feel both relaxed and energized at the same time. It's the perfect state for natural performance. Alert but not anxious. Ready but not tense. Still, not all ginseng is created equal. The ancient healers knew this too. They preferred roots that were at least 6 years old, with a deep color and strong aroma, because those contained the highest concentration of active compounds. Fresh red ginseng, often steamed and dried to enhance potency, was reserved for the elderly and for men who had lost their vitality. In traditional stories, even emperors kept it as a personal treasure, not for luxury, but for life force. They understood that this root wasn't a drug. It was nourishment for the spirit. Modern research now backs up what they discovered centuries ago. Clinical trials have shown that red ginseng increases nitric oxide levels, improves endothelial function, that's the ability of blood vessels to expand, and boosts testosterone naturally by improving the body's sensitivity to its own hormones. It's not adding hormones from outside, it's unlocking the ones already within you. And because it works at the root cause, the effects are stable and long-lasting. You don't crash after it wears off. You just keep improving as your circulation and cell health get stronger. Now imagine combining this knowledge with a simple daily ritual. Picture waking up, rinsing a small slice of ginseng, chewing it slowly, feeling that earthy flavor spread through your mouth, and within moments, sensing your heartbeat grow steady and strong. Over the next few days, your energy rises, your mood improves, and your body begins responding in ways you thought were gone for good. This isn't fiction. It's what happens when your biology is allowed to function as nature designed it. Still, one might ask, if it's that easy, why haven't doctors prescribed it? The truth is, while ginseng has been studied extensively, modern medicine focuses mainly on treating symptoms rather than restoring function. Pills can bring temporary relief, but they don't address the underlying loss of nitric oxide or chronic inflammation. Ginseng does. And while it may not be as dramatic as a quick pharmaceutical fix, its effects grow stronger over time, making it one of the most sustainable ways to maintain performance and health into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. But there's one more secret about how ginseng works, and this is where most people miss out. The compounds in the root need oxygen to activate properly. That means your breathing matters. When you take slow, deep breaths while chewing it, your body absorbs more oxygen, which amplifies the nitric oxide effect. In ancient traditions, men would chew the root while meditating or walking slowly outdoors, letting their breath sync with their heartbeat. This simple act turned the root into a tool not just for physical strength, but for mental renewal. Today we can do the same. No rituals, no mysticism, just science meeting wisdom. As you begin to understand all this, it becomes clear that what seemed like a personal failure was never your fault. Your body was simply lacking the signal it needed to wake up again. The combination of better circulation, reduced inflammation, and restored balance between mind and body creates a ripple effect that touches every part of your life. Relationships grow closer because confidence returns. Energy rises because the heart works more efficiently. Even your immune system gets stronger because good blood flow means more oxygen and nutrients reach every organ. And yet, there's one more final piece to complete this natural transformation, one that takes everything ginseng does and multiplies it. You see, while ginseng restores nitric oxide and improves blood flow, there's another ancient habit that helps your body hold on to that effect for hours, even days. It's something so simple that anyone can do it, and it can triple the results you get from chewing this root. It's not another supplement or diet. It's a forgotten daily practice that supports your circulation from the inside out. In the next moment of this story, you'll discover what that practice is, why it was once a sacred morning ritual for older men in Asian and Mediterranean cultures, and how pairing it with this ancient root can completely transform your energy and performance naturally. Because the real secret to ending bedroom failure after 60 isn't in chemicals, it's in remembering what the body was always capable of doing when treated the way nature intended. By now, the truth has become clear. The loss of performance, vitality, and confidence that so many men over 60 quietly suffer isn't a punishment of age. It's the natural consequence of years of slowed circulation, inflammation, and neglect of the body's most vital signal, nitric oxide. But knowing this truth is just the beginning. The real power comes when you act on it. And this final step reveals the simple, ancient practice that turns ginseng's spark into a steady flame, one that can restore not just physical strength, but the inner calm and clarity every man deserves to feel again. The habit is so basic that it seems almost too simple to matter. Yet in every traditional culture where men remained strong and vigorous well into old age, this ritual was a cornerstone of daily life. It's the act of deep rhythmic breathing combined with gentle movement, a deliberate activation of your body's internal pump system. You see, your heart isn't the only organ responsible for moving blood. The muscles of your legs, diaphragm, and chest play a massive role in circulation. Every deep breath you take draws oxygen deep into the lungs, expands the blood vessels, and triggers nitric oxide release naturally. The problem is, most people today breathe shallowly and sit for hours, starving their cells of oxygen. That's why even the most powerful natural remedy, like ginseng, works best when paired with oxygen, the one nutrient every cell craves, but few of us give enough attention to. In ancient Asia, men would rise before dawn, chew their slice of ginseng, and then step outside to breathe in the morning air. They moved slowly at first, lifting their arms, stretching their chest, and inhaling deeply through the nose, letting the air fill their belly, not just their lungs. With every breath, they were charging their bloodstream with oxygen, waking up the body's nitric oxide system, and spreading the effect of the root through every vessel. Within minutes, they felt their pulse grow stronger, their thoughts clear, and their spirit calm. Today, we call these gentle sequences Qigong or Tai Chi, but the essence is the same. Conscious breathing and movement stimulate circulation far more effectively than sitting still or depending on pills. The science behind this practice is as impressive as its simplicity. When you take slow, deep breaths, the lining of your blood vessels releases nitric oxide naturally. This boosts blood flow to every organ, including the heart, brain, and yes, the areas responsible for male performance. Combining this with the ginsenosides from the root multiplies the effect. The compounds in ginseng open up the vessels, and oxygen feeds them. The two work together like keys turning the same lock from both sides. This is why ancient healers insisted that the root was never to be taken in haste. It was meant to be experienced slowly, with breath and focus. And here's something that modern research has rediscovered. Nitric oxide is produced mostly in the nasal passages, not the mouth. That means if you breathe through your nose, you increase your body's ability to create this molecule by up to 6 times more than mouth breathing. So, the most effective way to pair ginseng with this practice is simple. Chew a small piece of the root, let it rest under your tongue for a moment, and take 10 deep nasal breaths. Inhale slowly through your nose, filling your abdomen, then exhale gently through your mouth. Each breath triggers your blood vessels to relax, carrying the active compounds from the ginseng through your system in real time. It's a full-body awakening that can happen in less than a minute. This is the secret combination that ancient healers relied on, the plant that opens your vessels and the breath that fills them. Together, they restore what time has taken away: circulation, energy, and confidence. Men who practice this regularly report not only improved performance, but also better digestion, clearer memory, stronger heartbeat, and more restful sleep. The effects build on themselves. What starts as a small morning ritual soon becomes a natural rhythm, like flipping a switch that reminds your body every single day how to stay alive, alert, and strong. But as powerful as this may sound, there's another element that completes the picture. And it's not a food, supplement, or exercise. It's the mindset that allows your body to respond fully. Because when a man loses confidence in his body, he unknowingly creates tension that blocks the very flow he's trying to restore. Doubt and anxiety anxiety tighten the muscles, especially in the pelvic region, restricting blood flow and making it harder for the natural process to occur. That's why the ancient breathing ritual was more than just physical, it was also a way to calm the mind. Every slow breath tells the nervous system, "You're safe, you're in control." That simple message allows the body to open up again, to relax, and to function as it should. It's no coincidence that this calm, focused state is exactly what modern doctors call the parasympathetic mode, the body's natural state for healing, digestion, and intimacy. When you chew ginseng and breathe deeply, you activate this mode instantly. Your heart rate lowers, your blood pressure stabilizes, and your arteries expand. The body moves from defense to restoration. And that's when the magic happens. Within seconds, blood flow increases, oxygen surges, and your body begins to remember its natural rhythm. You don't need to dedicate hours to this. In fact, the beauty of this method is that it works best in short, focused moments. 1 minute of mindful breathing while chewing the root is often enough to trigger noticeable effects. Over time, as circulation improves, you'll notice deeper changes. Your mornings feel lighter, your mind clearer, your energy more stable, and your confidence quietly returning. You'll walk taller, feel calmer, and find that intimacy no longer feels like pressure, but like connection. Now, some men might ask, what if I can't find the right kind of ginseng? The answer is simple. Quality matters more than quantity. Look for red ginseng or Korean ginseng that's at least 6 years old, preferably from a reputable source. Avoid sugary energy drinks or powders that claim to contain it. They often use artificial flavors and minimal amounts of the real root. If possible, buy dried ginseng slices or a small fresh root and chew a piece about the size of your thumbnail once or twice a day. The flavor is earthy and slightly bitter at first, but that's how you know it's real. If you prefer, you can soak it in warm water overnight and drink the infusion in the morning, then chew the softened piece. Either way, consistency is key. Along with that, maintaining hydration and movement throughout the day keeps your circulation open. Simple habits like drinking a glass of water before meals, walking after eating, and doing light stretches before bed amplify the effect of ginseng. Remember, the goal isn't just to restore performance in the bedroom, it's to rebuild the foundation of your vitality from the inside out. When your blood flows well, every part of your life improves. And perhaps the most inspiring truth of all is that your body still holds every ability it once had. Aging doesn't erase it, it only hides it under layers of inactivity and imbalance. The combination of this ancient root, deep breathing, and daily mindfulness peels those layers away. Within weeks, you can feel younger not because of a miracle, but because your body finally has what it needs to function naturally again. The change is gradual, steady, and real, because it's built on your biology, not against it. Now imagine, months from now, looking in the mirror and realizing that you've regained something priceless. You wake up rested, energized, and ready. You feel that quiet confidence again. Not the anxious, pressured kind, but the peaceful strength that comes from knowing your body works as it should. Your partner notices, not because of anything you say, but because of how you carry yourself. You laugh more, move more, live more. And all of it started with a small, ancient habit, chewing a root and breathing deeply. So here's the simple action plan that ties everything together. Step 1, cleanse your body gently. Drink plenty of water, eat green vegetables, and cut back on processed food and sugar. This clears your arteries and prepares your system. Step 2, each morning, chew a small piece of red ginseng or drink its infusion slowly, letting it linger under your tongue. Step 3, while doing so, take 10 deep nasal breaths, inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth, filling your belly each time. Step 4, move. Stretch your arms, roll your shoulders, walk outside if possible. Feel your heartbeat and let your body wake up. Step 5, stay consistent. Do this every day, not as a chore, but as a gift to yourself. In just a few weeks, you'll notice changes, not just in energy, but in mood, confidence, and clarity. Your heart will feel stronger, your circulation smoother, and your mind calmer. And when the moment of intimacy comes, your body will respond naturally, without stress, without fear, without hesitation. That's the reward of restoring balance the way nature intended. For centuries, this simple method kept men healthy, strong, and connected to their vitality long past what we call middle age. It was never about fighting time. It was about working with it. Today, science has confirmed what tradition always knew. The path to lasting strength and energy is through blood flow, oxygen, and calmness, and you can unlock all three in less than a minute every morning. So if you've ever felt that your best days were behind you, remember this: your body hasn't forgotten how to live fully. It's waiting for you to remind it. One piece of ginseng, 1 minute of breathing, one simple choice to start again. Because strength isn't lost with age, it's rediscovered when you give your body what it's been missing all along.